morning, day 7.
Good morning. 7? Oh gosh, we've been doing this a week. It's been a week.
I know.
That's cool.
When you messaged me to be like, I'll be about 5 minutes late, I'm like, that's okay. I was like,
It's one of those mornings.
pushed the snooze button too many times.
Yeah.
Had cats that just, couldn't be disturbed on the bed.
Yeah. They worked hard yesterday.
They did.
They deserve a lion. Good job, kitties.
That's right. And James, sweet baby James, he likes to sleep on top of the covers, like in the divot between your legs or right behind your knees.
Nice.
And so
But
I'm
then
like,
you're trapped.
So I have him behind my knees and the dog on the other side and a kitty between. There's one, the hero from yesterday, the little black one. She likes to sleep between our shoulders. So you just can't really move.
Yeah, they pin you in. It's nice. Thanks, cats. Good job.
And then when you messaged, I was drinking my first cup of coffee and I'm like, I still have to go outside and let out the chickens. The dinosaurs have to be freed. Yeah.
Oops.
And I was watching stupid kitty reels crack me up on Instagram.
I'm a real addict.
Oh.
I'm a real addict. For a long time, it was showing me sassy husky memes or reels. And I love a sassy husky. So
like where they go and they talk back.
Yeah, where they like sass back to their owners and stuff. It cracks me up. Yeah.
I was showing Will one of this cat who like dumped over an entire Christmas tree because we've had that happen. I thought it was so funny. And I'm showing him because he was standing next to me at the, I'm sitting down at the table and I look up and there's the clock on the wall and I'm like, oh, I have to hurry. And then you message me 5 minutes late. And I'm like, yes.
No worries. Okay. No worries. Yeah, I've been watching Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix.
What is that?
I think it's an 8-part series, and if it is, it means I'm on the last one. It feels like they're wrapping it up, like all the threads are coming together. And it's this guy, he's a journalist, and his theory is that, the general standard theory is that civilization, like not people, but civilization started about 6,000 years ago. His theory is
Don't
that
you have to have people to have civilization.
Well, people and civilization is different. Civilization is like cities and groupings and things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
His theory is that we got to push that back like 10,000 years, basically. And what happened was there's a giant event that like caused mass population destruction, and then it grew from there. And so like regrew from there. And then we have like solid evidence from the restarting of civilization.
Okay. Basically. I see what you mean. Right.
Anyway, so he goes around to like different oldie sites around the world.
Yeah.
And is like, and here, we always think it's this old, but here's evidence that it's really like 8,000 years older or 4,000 years older or something. And it's all like, he's just building a case for like all these sites that we think are old are actually way, way older. And then I fell asleep watching it last night. So then when I got up this morning, like Netflix had played like an episode and a half. So I had to go back and like.
And you're like, wait a minute. You have to go back.
I had to go back. So I'm like brushing my teeth and watching the show on my phone, and like. Anyway, I think I'm in the grand finale where he like brings together his theory, or it's not him. He's a reporter. So he's going around talking to all these people who have this theory, but they're being like discounted by archaeology and all this archaeologists who don't want to change their ideas. So anyway, I'm a nerd in this way, and
that's okay. You're watching educational things. That's all right. Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
So that reminds me, there's one on, I think it's on the History Channel, and I think I watched it on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but it's called Found, and it's about. It's about people who like just. Oh, let's say somebody's digging a well and they're going to build a new house, and they, the backhoe digs up some artifact, and so they'll hang on to it and they'll take a photo and they'll send it into the show, and they have anthropologists and archaeologists on staff, and the ones that are super interesting, they'll go out and see the thing and visit the people and hear the story of how they found it. And then
Mhm.
they'll work on actually dating it and discovering what it is. So sometimes there are objects that you're like, "What is that?" You know?
Yeah.
Or they find, some kid finds a dagger and you're like, "Okay, is this a costume piece or is this, like, real?"
Yeah.
And it's
There's
just
this one there was this one site I never heard of, like, most of the sites I've heard of,
Mhm.
even if just in passing, but there's one site I never heard of. It's in Turkey, and it's these underground cities
Hmm.
that, like, they carved out of ground.
Okay.
But, like, they also have, like, there's, like, air shafts coming up so you can breathe,
Yeah,
and, like, way down low, there's water, and it's, like, 8 stories deep of
really?
these, like, honeycomb cutout areas that people were living in. They know they were living in them as far back as 800 BC, but the guy makes the point, he's like, just because you move into a house doesn't mean that that's when you built the house. The house could be hundreds of years older.
Right.
They just can't carbon date anything back further than that. But,
Wow.
yeah, but then they're like, and then we
Like
started looking for more, and they found, like, 26 of them or whatever. That's not the right number. And then they were like, and if you add the ones that are just 2 levels deep, it goes to 200. Like, and they show all the dots around Turkey. And then they're like, yeah, and like this one has just a shaft that goes off and off and off, and then it's collapsed. But the theory is that it connects to another one of these places 5 miles away. And you're just like, what? What are these
I
things?
found this on the web.
Oh, Siri's looking stuff up for me.
Okay, that's just creepy. Can I just say I don't have Siri listen to me, like, all the time?
That was weird. I hate when that happens. Anyway, so I was busy being nerdy in that way.
That's okay. It's
Is it
interesting.
true? I don't know, but I love thinking about, like, ancient history like that. It
Yeah.
blows my mind.
But you were a religious studies major, right?
Yeah, I was a religious studies major.
So that's interesting also to think about what people might have thought about or believed, like, way, 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 way
You
back.
are raring me up. You are raring me up because his whole thing is like part of the evidence of this is in our mythologies that we
Yeah,
have. So
sure.
like we have all these, like he's like taking us around to all these sites and he's like, we see a snake here, we see a snake here, we see a snake here, here's a snake, here's a snake,
Yeah,
here's a snake.
yeah.
And he's like, and then one of the I want to say it's one of the Turkish sites, but it might not be. But one of the religion, it's Zoroastrianism has a creation myth or sort of a Noah type myth where a man has to take 2 of every animal and a bunch of seeds and
Oh,
stuff, and he goes
okay.
underground
Yeah.
because there's going to be a super severe winter, and the heralding of that super severe winter will be a snake in the sky. And so that's like the theory. So this is the last episode. This is what I'm just getting into. Is that so? Spoilers for 12,000 BC. Is that the Earth went through the tail of a comet,
Oh,
and that's the snake in the sky, and then we
sure.
had a bunch of impacts because of that. And then a lot of people know about the layer that you can find around a lot of North America. There's a dark layer
Mhm.
that signifies a mass extinction event. Like there's a bunch of animals we don't see anymore past that layer.
Right.
And so his theory is that those impacts were on the ice sheets. And that's why we don't have craters
Right.
for them. I'm
Right.
sure this is what everyone wanted to tune into this morning for our yarn thing. Anyway, it's fascinating. It's like, it's my geekiness.
That's okay. And I keep
It's
looking
fine.
down
And it's
'cause
not like aliens. Like I'm not like
No, no, no,
it's not
no.
like weird and like, and then the aliens came and built the pyramids. Like this is all like there's stuff in the
It's
archaeology and in mythology.
geologic
It's
based.
fascinating.
Yes.
It's fascinating. Sorry, I took over.
No,
our
it's
whole.
okay. And
Let's
I
talk
think
about yarn.
okay, let's talk about how I just knit an entire row when I shouldn't have because I was listening to you. And yeah, I should have done my eyelet row and I didn't. I just was knit,
Uh-oh.
listening to Anne. But
Sorry.
no, that happened. So do you ever, you said you fell asleep watching this show. Do you ever like fall
Never
asleep while you're knitting?
I there are times sometimes that I'll be knitting and it's just stockinette and I'll just like close my eyes and I'll be like, keep going. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I should go to bed. This is ridiculous.
That's a sign. That's a sign. But you get in your groove and you can go for quite a while. Just for
Well, you know that muscle memory, right?
yeah.
So now I'm tinking, which for viewers that may be brand new knitters, tinking is the word knit backwards. You're unknitting one
Yeah.
stitch at a time. That's what I'm doing at the moment. And I think it's several hundred stitches.
Tinking, frogging, because
Well,
you rip it, rip it, rip it.
no. Tinking's different than frogging.
Yeah, that's pulling, but like different words for undoing your knitting, right?
Yeah, tinking is one step at a time.
Yeah, frogging
Rip,
is when you're like rip it, rip it.
well, but that's frogging is frogging the entire thing, and ripping
Not
is just.
necessarily. Not
Well,
necessarily.
I always
You
think
can
ripping
frog back a
rip
row
that's
or two.
ripping back to a certain point.
I call it frogging too.
I always think frogging is, undoing the whole thing. Like you're.
I like to go over these every now and then though, because like every now and then I'll meet someone who's like, I had no idea that's why we called it frogging. So put the lingo out there.
Yeah.
Define
Yeah.
it.
So one time I was tinking at an event, and this gal's like, "Wow, you can tink really fast. Unknit one stitch at a time." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's because I do it a lot." you know,
I am skilled.
I'm skilled at taking out my knitting. Right?
I was working on the Turvie on Sunday afternoon or on yesterday, Monday, whatever day. And I did a lot of tinking.
Yeah, with lace, you learn to read your knitting. That's a thing.
Well, and that's the thing. I was catching a lot of errors really quick because I have gotten much better at reading my knitting.
Yes.
So thankfully, because otherwise it would be an utter nightmare working on that shawl.
Do you have it with you?
It's over. I can grab it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Cut it.
Okay. Cut.
And action. Sorry. So it's not, lace isn't really pretty until it's done,
Uh-huh. Till it's blocked.
So this is.
Oh, yeah. And you had some of that on your Instagram.
Trying to put it, like, there you go.
You
can see it against my.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the border.
Right.
Which is different from the edging. The edging will go on last and will go around all of it. The border is on both ends, and it's a long decorative border. I forget how long, maybe like 20 inches, something like that. And then there's the center. So it'll be the center and then a border on each side and then an edging that goes all the way around.
So is this pattern available on Ravelry where we could put a link and then people could see what a finished one looks like?
It is stunning.
Stunning. Okay.
It's Elizabeth Williamson's pattern. And I'm the idiot who prodded her on to do this. And I say that not because this is, it's just stunning when it's done. Yeah. But I was the one who was like, took her knitting classes. I'm sure I'm one of many. I can't say I'm one. I'm the one. But I was like, okay, what's next? Because everyone teaches Shetland lace classes using, like a normal lace weight yarn. And we do like a mini hap like this kind of thing. That's a pretty normal class to do, or a series of classes.
Lovely.
This is Elizabeth Williamson's mini hap class.
That's beautiful.
But it's done in lace weight. It's not, fine Shetland lace because it's not cobweb. Right. But she does incorporate a lot of different lace and techniques and stuff. So this is a great class to take if you want to do a lace class. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the next step then? What's next? Mm-hmm. And she came up with an absolutely stunning proper lace, there's our yarn, proper lace.
Yeah, this is like the size of like those shawls that you can drag through a wedding ring, like the Shetland wedding bridal shawls.
Right, only it's a rectangle instead of a square. Those are usually the square ones, but
But
Jana, I
same
want it
kind of
so bad. I
yarn.
want it so bad.
Well, get after
I
it.
have to make it. So I talk about this in the episode that went out last night.
I'll link to
Well,
that as well because I saw.
Monday.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to
Monday
listen
night.
to it yet, but I saw that you'd posted your
Yeah. So
podcast.
that's one of the 3 projects I talk about.
Okay, well,
Focus.
right now
Focus.
I'm tinking. Right now I'm tinking,
Okay.
but not very far because I had a couple of other unrelated knitting things happen yesterday. I have a couple other businesses, like other work that, and then I mentioned yesterday, appointments in town, right? So I didn't get that far. So I'm gonna have to catch up. I'm gonna play
Okay.
catch up again. However,
That's okay.
you can see a little of it. So here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
day from day 5, and then here's yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're kind of going back to that same kind of theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I should have done another eyelet row right where I'm at. So I need to tink.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm tinking. That's okay.
Should I open while you tink?
Yes, open day 7.
Okay. So day 7.
Da-da-da.
Okay. So this one is Forget Me Not Heath. So this is on the same base as the Speedwell Heath,
Oh,
which is the same dye as the Speedwell.
right.
You can see the different things. And then we also had the Meadow Sweet. So that's what we have so far.
So are they all Speedwell in different colors and bases?
This is Speedwell.
Okay.
This is Speedwell Heath.
Okay.
This one. This is Forget Me Not Heath. So these 2 are the same bases. These 2, nope, these 2 are the same dyes.
Where it's like looking in a mirror.
I know I'm having a hard time. Same dyes,
Okay.
same bases.
Okay.
And then we have this one, which is the same base as this one.
Okay.
Different dye. So those are what we have so far. Woo!
Lovely.
Yeah. We're getting close. We only have a few more days and then we get the pattern.
And tomorrow, I think, tomorrow's our interview with Ronnie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is the owner of Uredale Yarns, or Uredale Farm / Uredale Yarns.
So day 7 today is from Lavender Lune. They're in Minneapolis. And so I think that's a cherry. Does it look like a cherry?
Is Minnesota known for cherries?
I don't know.
Someone from Minnesota, fill us in. Lynn, you're probably watching. Lynn, if you're seeing this, why is there a cherry?
Ooh, we're getting some different colors now.
Oh, I like that. Is that a purple?
Yes. So that's Lavender Lune. It's their merino 80/20 merino nylon blend, 80 yards, and it says MSP, which I'm assuming is Minnesota St. Paul.
Oh, that makes sense.
Twin
MSP.
Cities. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
But yeah. Okay, so we're tying in with the turquoise tealish, but there's definitely some other stuff going on up here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like that.
Ooh, must knit faster.
Must knit faster. Good luck with that.
I think I get to stay home today. I mean, not that I don't have a bunch of work to do, because I do, but I think I get to stay home.
It is nice to not run around.
Yeah, because running around for me, it's back and forth to town once is 1 hour of driving.
Oof.
That's some knitting time,
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, it's I can't really knit while you're driving 80 down the interstate.
Yeah. I live in town, but like the grocery store's 5 minutes away, but everything else that I do in my life is at least 20 minutes away, even though I'm in town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's annoying.
And it's, traffic and stuff. And yeah, so it's nice. I like I don't feel the need to go places.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if nobody has appointments or anything or a reason to be in town, I'm fine. I mean, in the summertime, it's not unusual for me to not go anywhere for like 10 days, not even leave the property. Because why?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I do that. Well, that's how it ends up being here too, because my husband gets stir crazy really easy. So he ends up doing like all the errands.
Yay.
Yeah. So I work, I go walk and stuff like that. But yeah, there can be weeks where like I go to church on Sunday and then I'm pretty much home until date night on Saturday night. And then we go out and then I go to church and then I'm home again.
That's nice. Do you do date night every week?
Almost every week, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Sometimes it's the only time I get to talk to him, so
I know, and that's like us too, especially if it snows and he's out plowing on the interstate, like,
yeah,
it could be days and we don't even, like, you know.
right, right.
So
Yeah.
we might do that, date night.
Yeah, it's good. We've both enjoyed that. It's been a good part of our marriage. Should have date night.
Mhm. I don't remember. I mean, it's been a long time since I've, like, sat down in a restaurant.
Yeah. There's some I will say also there's some weeks when we just like order food in and watch a show, and that's date
Mhm.
night,
Yeah,
but the kids aren't allowed. They can't come.
right,
Stay in your rooms. Be
right.
sad.
Yeah, I'll have to tell my mother, "Just stay over there, stay on your side of the driveway. I'll bring you something if you want. I'll bring you dinner." Yeah, but and that's true, is, like, we just seem not to have time anymore to just sit and, you know, visit and watch a movie and just to be, like, it doesn't have to be a big
Yeah.
conversation, but just to, like, be in the same proximity and,
Yeah.
remember why we like each other,
Right.
you know?
It's always good sometimes to have that reminder.
Well,
Should we stop?
yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.